Committee on Science, Space, and Technology come to order. Before I go to my statement, first let me say good morning, everyone, but I want to explain to you that I have nerve damage to my voice, my right vocal cord. So there are times when my voice will fade and come back, and sometimes not hear at all. I did have the surgery to try to restore the sound, but it still gives me a little problem. So just be aware that my mood does not change with my voice. And I know that we had a caucus meeting this morning, as everyone did, but let me welcome everyone. Without objection, the chair is authorized to declare a recess at any time, and without objection, the chair is authorized to postpone further proceedings when a recorded vote is ordered. But hopefully that won't happen this morning. By way of process today, I'll recognize myself for an opening statement, and of course that'll be followed by my ranking member. I must tell you that it's odd, really odd, to call somebody sitting next to me a ranking member. That's been my label for the past 8 years at least. And but anyway, I'd like to first welcome all of our new and old members of the committee, and I'm excited about the upcoming Congress, and I think we'll do some good bipartisan things in this committee. I always say that the Science Committee is about the future. Of all the committees here in the House of Representatives, ours is the only one that truly examines the future in a profound way. I view our jobs on this committee as ensuring that the United States remains the world leader in science and innovation, and very importantly, has the right educational and workforce development programs so that we can always remain the best and the most qualified workforce in the world. I think and I hope that this focus will lend itself to bipartisan efforts by the committee. This committee works best when members from both sides of the aisle are invested in the work product. Even on more contentious topics like climate change, it would be my hope that the Science Committee will be a place for bipartisanship, as we'll be looking for innovative solutions to the problem. And to be clear, we are not a committee that writes tax or regulatory law, but one that focuses on the ways that science and technology can address critical issues. Today, we take up a rules package that reflects our desire to get off on the right foot. The changes we're proposing today are largely to take the committee back to more of the practices we had in the past. In some cases, that includes more consultation with the ranking minority member, Mr. Lucas, and I welcome that consultation. I think this committee has in the past worked better together when the chair and ranking member worked collaboratively. Obviously, there might be some times where Mr. Lucas and I disagree, but I hope to do so respectfully and without trampling on the rights of the members of the committee. I look forward to working with all of the members of this committee of this Congress, and now recognize the ranking member to make his opening statement. Mr. Lucas.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. And I would note, first and foremost, it's a privilege to not only be a ranking member of this esteemed committee with all its jurisdictions, but the privilege and honor of being a member of Congress in itself. And I look forward to serving alongside all the new and returning members as we kick off the 116th Congress. And I would also note, Chairman, not to be remiss, but being a lifelong Oklahoman and having spent all my life next door to the great Republic of Texas, I can assure those members who've not been around a good Texas member of Congress, when a Texan wants to be heard, he or she will be heard. So I'm confident, Eddie, we'll understand everything you're communicating clearly. With that, I'd like to congratulate you on your chairmanship, and we'll have a good working relationship. We've had a good working relationship for years now, so it comes as no surprise that preparing together for the committee's organization this Congress has been both positive and productive. I believe this bodes well for our ability to make meaningful progress on our shared priorities. We have important work ahead of us, harnessing American innovation to improve energy efficiency and effectiveness, supporting pioneer research and basic science at our national labs, promoting cutting-edge technology like AI, machine learning, cybersecurity solutions that create new jobs and keep our country competitive and secure, improving access to STEM education and building America's STEM workforce, maintaining America's global leadership in space exploration. We've already gotten started with bipartisan legislation to support innovative entrepreneurs through the I-Corps program. We have a bill to curb sexual harassment in the scientific and academic communities. And our Energy and Water Research Integration Act will encourage the development of innovative technologies for water use, reuse, and recovery in the energy sector. I'm looking forward to moving these bills together. I believe the rules we are voting on today will allow for efficient committee work. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Ms. Pursuant to the notice, the committee meets to organize for the 116th Congress and adopt the rules of the committee. The clerk now will designate those rules.
Rules for the Committee on Science, Space, and Technology for the 116th Congress. Rule 1, General, application of rules. The rules of the House of Representatives.
Without objection, the committee rules will be considered as read and open for amendment at this point. If there's no objection, so ordered. Are there any amendments to the rules? If not, I move the committee adopt the rules of the Committee on Science, Space, and Technology. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. And so now we will, the rules are adopted. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the new members of the committee on the Democratic side, and then I'll recognize Mr. Lucas for the same. First, we have Ms. Lizzie Fletcher. You raise your hand. Ms. Fletcher represents the 7th District, which serves Western Houston and its suburbs. She is a lawyer by profession and was the first woman partner at a major international law firm in Houston. She will be chairing the Environment Subcommittee in this Congress. Ms. Haley Stevens. Okay. She comes to us from Michigan's 11th District. She has spent a career in economic and workforce development, including launching a STEM education program with middle and high school students. She will be able to make an ample use of this experience in her role as chair of the Research and Technology Subcommittee. Next, Ms. Kendra Horn. Ms. Horn comes to us from Oklahoma. In her professional background, Ms. Horn once worked in aerospace industry, which will serve her well as the new chair of the Space and Aeronautics Subcommittee. Ms. Mika Sherrill represents New Jersey's 11th District. Ms. Sherrill was a former U.S. Navy helicopter pilot and more recently a federal prosecutor. She will be serving us as chair of the Subcommittee on Investigations and Oversight. Mr. Sean Caston joins us from Illinois' 6th District. He has a science and engineering background, so he should fit right in with this science committee. He also co-founded Recycled Energy Development, a company focused on recycling waste energy and converting energy facilities to cleaner, more economic use. Ms. Katie Hill comes to us from California's 25th District, where she worked as Executive Director of PATH, or People Assisting Homeless, which is the largest homeless service organization in California. And next, we have Mr. Ben McAdams from the state of Utah. Prior to coming to Congress, Mr. McAdams was a lawyer, state senator, and more recently, the mayor of Salt Lake County. And finally, we have Ms. Jennifer Wexton from Virginia. She was previously a criminal prosecutor. She also served as a board member of the Loudoun County Community Services Board, and more recently, she served as a state senator. I'd also like to take a moment to welcome back to the committee Mr. Brad Sherman, who served on science before, and I'd also like to welcome Mr. Steve Cohen, who is new to the committee, certainly not to the Congress. And now recognize the ranking member to introduce his new members.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have an outstanding new and returning Republican members, and now that we've established the committee rules, we're ready to get straight to work. Our subcommittee leadership will be critical to this effort. Randy Weber, Texas, will serve as the ranking member of the Energy Subcommittee. Dr. Roger Marshall from Kansas will be heading up our Environmental Subcommittee. Jim Baird of Indiana, a freshman joining our committee, will be the lead on Research and Technology. Brian Babin, Texas, will serve as ranking member on Space and Aeronautics Subcommittee. And the Oversight Republicans will be led by Ralph Norman of South Carolina. Our returning members include Mo Brooks, Bill Posey, Andy Biggs, Dr. Neil Dunn, Michael Cloud, and Troy Balderson, who all have done tremendous work serving their constituents and enhancing our scientific sector. I'm happy to welcome Pete Olson back now that he's come to realize that he really missed the committee that he actually belonged with and should have stayed with a long time ago. So welcome back, Pete. You're a lucky fellow to get a second chance. I'd like to welcome Anthony Gonzales of Ohio and Michael Waltz of Florida, our other freshman members. Anthony represents Ohio 16 in the northeast of the side of the state. He has a BA in philosophy from Ohio State University and an MBA from Stanford University. You might know him better as a receiver from the Colts from 2007 to 2012. No one ever remembers my athletic ability, Eddie, but that's beside the point. Michael represents Florida 6 on the Eastern Shore, just north of Orlando. He has his bachelor's in international studies from Virginia Military Institute. He served as a Green Beret with multiple combat tours in Afghanistan, Middle East, and Africa. And after his return, he advised Vice President Dick Cheney on counterterrorism policy. And our Jim Baird, PhD, our new subcommittee ranking member for Research and Technology, represents Indiana 4 on the western edge of the state. He has both a bachelor's and a master's in animal science from Purdue University and a PhD in monogastric nutrition. By the way, if you're not familiar with monogastric nutrition, visit with Jim. It's a fascinating science all in itself. Ask any good livestock person. From the University of Kentucky, and he's also a decorated Vietnam veteran. His distinguished service to our country was recognized with a Bronze Star and 2 Purple Hearts. We have medical professionals, PhDs, farmers, veterans, small business owners who will each bring their own unique expertise to the issues that lie ahead of us. The work we do here directly benefits our competitiveness, our economy, our knowledge base, and our technological growth. I'm looking forward to getting started with these priorities and driving American scientific progress. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Let me welcome all of the returning and new members. We look forward to working with you all. Is there a question or a comment at this point from anyone? Hearing none, then we have concluded our business for today, and the meeting is adjourned.